Saludos y bienvenidos a todos to the PGP podcast. Everybody, welcome. Happy Sunday. There's something in the air. My hand has lost some weight. Not my cheeks, but my hand has lost some weight. Welcome to episode 114 of the Superintendent Roundtable number 5. There's been 4 previous ones. 5. But before we get into our awesome panel today, remember, thank you very much for being here. One of the things that we are not guaranteed in life is time. And if you're watching us live right now or on the rebroadcast, we value you a lot for giving us some of your time, for making sure that you are here and making sure that you listen. And obviously, the knowledge, the nuggets that have been brought for the past 113 shows is limitless. I mean, it's just nonstop with a variety of guests that we've had in the past. Thank you very much. Don't forget that the PGP podcast is part of the Fantastic Four Network. Fantastic Four Network, which starts every Super Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern on Facebook Live. Make it easy for everybody with Sean Hurt, Coach Sean Hurt, which will, I know you got your scores. Everyone got their scores back. And if you ain't where you're supposed to be, make sure that you reach out to Coach Hurt. He knows the accountability system for all 50 states, and he always makes sure that he supports those campuses to go up. He does a phenomenal job. Culture. Is your culture like a little bit like this hand right now? It's missing something. If your culture is missing something, reach out to 10:30 a.m. Shika Houston and Tammy Taylor. They raised their campus letter grade 2 or 3, each of them in 1 year. They had to change the culture of the campus to ensure success, because you know what? Success breeds success. So reach out to them. And you close off at 11 a.m. on Facebook Live. El Jefe, Principal Baruti Cafele. Principal Cafele, 11. I don't need to say anything else about Cafele. We all know from here to there that he is the bomb.com. And we are the 4th show every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central. So thank you very much for being here. Big shout out to Mari, our co-host. We have a special co-host today, but she's in Tanzania right now helping out the village, the school that she supports. So thank you for doing what you do. Please make sure that you like and share the show right now. Please like and share it. Get those algorithms going. You got 4 superintendents right now, and you got 4 other shows with nonstop knowledge. Like and share it. And please do us a favor. We're at 270. Wow, on YouTube. Thank you very much. Again, the algorithm is to ensure that the free PD that's going on today and in the past and in the future will keep on going and spreading out to everybody, because you know that we're broke in education. We ain't got money, and this is free PD for you. So please like and share. Like and share, and go to YouTube. Josh Tovad, follow it right there. Help us out to make sure that we get to 275 this week. 275, little growth, but making sure that the channel spreads out to everybody out there. If you're an assistant principal, make sure that we need you. We're already booking for September shows. I want to do another assistant principal roundtable. So if you're interested, you know an AP, tell them to reach out, because you know what? We are all going through this. If you're in Maine, or if you're in Florida, if you're in Alaska, or you're in Hawaii, or anywhere in the 48 middle, we're all going through the same thing. All of us. We're all going through that COVID gap. We're all going through kids missing. Kids aren't going to school. We're all going through the cheerleading mom. We all going through those kind of things. And you know what? We need to make sure that we reach out, support each other, love each other, because we're in the best profession. The profession that creates all the other professions, education. And that's why I have one of the top-notch educators co-hosting the PGP podcast. I've got Miss Katie Kinner.
Oh my gosh, what an intro.
Thank you.
Hi, friends. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be here. And check out, Josh is just like repping the glasses. The teal glasses looks too good. And he's got my skeleton hand, which we know is, we greet our kids at the door every single day. Our engagement goes up by 30%, but it's also cold and flu season sometimes. And so we can get 2 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And he still has his from last summer. I love it.
Thank you. Tell them a little bit about what you do, Katie.
Yeah, this is my 20th year in education. I have been a teacher for a long time. And I became an instructional coach. I've released a couple of books, and now I get to go all over the nation, and I get to love on the teachers, the baby teachers, do PDs and do long-term contracts and embed in classrooms and teach classes. And it's just a blessing and a gift. And to be on this show today is a blessing and a gift. And so thank you for having me. It's so fun.
Thank you very much for being here. And I'm going to let you know, as an active principal starting year 34, I'm an old guy, year 34, baby. I'm going to let you know is that I've been to tons of conferences. I've presented at conferences. And one of the best sessions I've had is this lady right here. This lady, I don't know how to do it on video. This lady. And I brought her to NPA, and she provided NPA PD for us. If you find a star out there, you have to promote it, because a lot of times we are in silos and in niches, and we don't know what's out there. We don't know what's out there. Like, people don't know about podcasts still, and that's okay. People don't know who Jimmy Casas is, because there's such a big turnaround in education. They cycle out. My generation is retiring. Us old people in the 30s plus, we're retiring, and that knowledge is gone. Does that make sense? So people don't know about Jimmy Casas, Joe Sanfilippo, Katie Kinder, Dr. Chris Culver. People need to hear those names over and over, because they bring great value to our schools. And talking about bringing great value to our schools, my chinchilao moment. Katie, do you know what chinchilao is? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that means.
You don't put it on tacos, all right? That's not a special sauce that Mexicans eat. No. Chinchilao is a Mexican game that you play during fiestas, and it's a human pyramid, and you yell, Chinchilao y arriba boy, and there's one of your family members against a tree or the wall, and you jump on top of each other, human pyramid. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games until someone falls down, and the kid falls down, your little cousin falls down, he breaks his head open, your grandma starts beating everybody with a belt, the nonsense of family reunions. Well, this is my thought for today. It's all fun and games. Hey, admin, this is for you. My thought today. A lot of you are in new schools today. You started last week. In Texas, we already started last week. You're going to go to new schools. This is my advice to you. Make sure that you're leery of who approaches you. More often than not, the people that are coming real quick with requests are those weebies. Katie, do you know who the weebies are?
The weebies?
Have you ever heard of the weebies?
I haven't. Are these the people who complain a lot?
Yeah, well, yeah. They're the ones that say, we be here before you, we be here after you. Those are the weebies. Those are the weebies, all right? And so those are the people that want to find a new ally, because they're the ones that say, hey, you know what? I've always suggested that we block this period. It might give me last period off, but you know what? And I think it's better for kids. Or, you know what? I think that my athletes deserve to have this because it helps us with the temperature. You know what? I've always thought that during PD time, it should just be us to reflect, to become better educators. I'm just telling you out there, guys. The first ones to approach you. This is my 13th campus in 34 years. And I see this always when I move around. People want to come with their own issues. It's not your star teacher. It's not that awesome one, because that awesome teacher will always thrive, regardless of what you give them. It's always going to be the ones that try to chop block you. Sean Hurt talks about them as Mr. and Mrs. Potato Plant. They're the ones that are looking to find the easy way out and not focus on what's in the best interest of kids. So, hey, especially if you're the master scheduler. Hey, master scheduler, don't listen to anybody. You're creating the master schedule and you're the first year right there. Don't listen to anybody. Listen to the vision of your principal, because they're the ones that were hired for the vision for that campus. So don't go by anything else. Be careful. And if they start telling you, oh, you need to watch it for this lady, Katie Kinder. Oh my, she's crazy. In her classroom, you know what? If you want to move me from that class, because you know what? She does have discipline issues. It happens. People speak. They try to corrode your brain. Don't listen. Don't listen to Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Don't listen to the weebies. Make sure that you analyze everything and you absorb it as you're going through your new campus, and you learn. Because you know what? You don't want to start off with the glass half full. What do you think about that, Katie?
I love it. And it's true. Those teachers who are going to thrive under leadership. And those are the ones that you want to pour into. You want those teachers to be on your leadership team, the ones that will do whatever it takes to make sure that we're reaching all kids. And so that is true. And I've never heard them called what'd you call them? The weebies?
Weebies, the weebies. We be here before you.
I
We
got,
be here after you. The average life of a principal is 3 years. The average
oh,
life of a superintendent is 3 years. We be here before you. We be here after you. So
yeah. So you've got to make sure that you find the positive on your campus and make sure that you're pouring into those people. And I don't have discipline problems. So if they're saying, listen,
no, she doesn't. She doesn't. All right. I'll tell you, she doesn't. She is a legit person right there next to me. And if you want to watch further superintendent roundtables, go to YouTube, Josh Tawad, like and share episode 8, episode 57, 92, and 95, and obviously 114. And that's why we're bringing in this awesome set of superintendents from all the corners of the United States who are going to be dropping the knowledge, who are going to be thebomb.com, just like Principal Cafele. Panel, muchas gracias por estar aquí hoy. Thank you for being here today. Katie Kinder, stick.
Okay, thank you guys. Hi, do you mind going through your journey a little bit in education and how long you've been a superintendent? And we're going to start with Melissa.
Hi, my name is Melissa Gonzalez. I'm the superintendent at Refugio ISD. I will be beginning my 28th year in education. I'm blessed to have had experience at all levels in education. Started out as a teacher and coach. Then I was a high school counselor for 10 years. I loved that job. High school principal for 3, and I'm beginning my 10th year as superintendent. I agree. The education is the greatest profession in the world, and it's an honor and a privilege to be counted among all of you.
Yes, thank you, Melissa. I love it. Dave, take it away.
Yes, Dave Klein, Colton School District, Colton, Oregon, out here in the Pacific Northwest. And I've spent 26 years in public education. I've been an admin 11, been a superintendent 6 years, and I've coached at all levels of football from collegiate down to little kid youth football. And I think education and coaching is one of the best, most rewarding opportunities we have in this world.
I love it. I love it. We're going to go over to Rick. Rick, tell us.
Well, hey, Katie, I'm Rick Cernsey. I'm the elected superintendent in Putnam County, Florida. That got Josh's attention. And I've been in education for 48 years, started in the 70s. And I've been a teaching assistant, a teacher, a dean, assistant principal for 10 years. And now I'm in my 10th year as a superintendent.
Man, that's we got to do the math on this, like how many years of experience and knowledge that are sitting on this panel. I love it. I love it. Thank you. And then to round us out, Dr. Sandra, did I say that right?
Yes, ma'am. Sandra Diozene. I am the superintendent for Passaic Public Schools. I have been a substitute teacher, history teacher, 6th through 12th grade, so middle and high school. I was a literacy coach, a teacher coach, a supervisor, a principal, an associate chief academic officer, assistant superintendent for 5 years. And in 2021, I became the superintendent of my hometown in Passaic, New Jersey, which is in the Northeast, about 12 miles from New York. And I am in my 26th year, also a adjunct professor at Fordham, and recently an author of a children's book on chronic absenteeism. So I'm really excited.
Nice, nice. Well, the amount of talent and years of experience that we have here, I'm just honored to be on this panel today and to ask you questions. All right, Josh, over to you.
Love it right there. Thank you, everybody. So here we go. Let's peel that onion. Esa cebolla. Let's peel a little bit back because we all know in education, street cred is crucial. Yes or no?
Yes.
Street cred is crucial. Try to put in an elementary principal as a high school principal. Oh, my Lord. You know what those high school teachers would say? Oh, my Lord. You know what I'm talking about. It's about that little street cred. So let's say right now, let's start off with you, Melissa. Who or what made you become an educator? Who or what? And what role did your parents play in making sure that you're at this place in your life?
Okay, who the person, so to say, the person who led me here, I would, I have a kind of an unconventional response to that. It was probably desperation. So I ended up in education within about 2 hours time. And it wasn't anything I ever had planned. I didn't think I would ever become an educator, but I was a single mom with 2 children to support, and a job opened up in my hometown. And as I said, within a couple of hours, I had my first job as a teacher and a coach. And God knew exactly what he was doing, because it was absolutely the path for me. The role my parents played, my parents were both, neither one of them were college graduates, but there was never a time when I didn't know that I was going to go to college. I can remember always, the message was, when you go to college, where you go to college. All those were the messages I heard from my parents. I've told the story about my dad grew up in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, and I can remember it was back before the child seats, the safety seats, and the even seat belts. And I remember riding in my dad's lap, riding down the road, and he would point to the college that was in his hometown in Edinburgh, Texas, and he'd say, "That's where you're going to go to college one day." And so, yeah, my parents absolutely set me on the course to become educated and to become an educator, to have that love and respect for what it can bring you.
Love it. These kids today, they would never understand that. They have like 7 seatbelts and super helmets. Your parents would just stick in the back of the truck, and you would be flying around. Whatever.
I do not recommend that today.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Sandra. Dave, talk to us.
Sure. My mom was a teacher and a school counselor, and that was an entry point. I was involved in coaching and started off in college playing football, and I switched majors and became a PE major and went right into teaching PE. After I went to the collegiate route of coaching, it doesn't pay a lot of money to coach small college collegiate football, so it was a financial decision, and I taught to coach, and I was involved in coaching for a long time, both in Florida and in Oregon, where I reside now. And so I jumped into teaching, spent 14 years at the high school level, and more people kept impacting me and telling me, "Oh, you need to go get your admin credentials, and you've got some good leadership skills, and we think you could really make a difference to lead adults." And so I grew in interest to see adults be successful and help coach adults. And so I took the turn, became an assistant principal, and then moved out to a predominantly Native American community to serve as a principal of a K-8 building. So I did that, and then became the superintendent in Colton School District. And so I think there's been really an unconventional road. I think we probably all could share stories about how we've got into education, but I think the biggest calling that I had was to make a difference and impact others, because, believe it or not, I was on the McKinney-Vento, if it was a thing back in 1980. So, I mean, we were homeless twice, lived in motels, not a hotel, not like the Hilton, but the old motel by the railroad tracks. So I think overcoming adversity is something that we can all share, and we all have vast experiences and have seen a lot of success because of our perseverance.
Beautiful. Perseverance, going through that as a family makes us very strong individuals. I love it. Exactly, Dave. Dr. Sandra, platícanos.
So I did not go to school to become a teacher. I went to school to become an investigative journalist, and I wanted to do radio as well. But ever since I was little, I played school a whole lot, and I have a cousin named Senny Lobos who's actually not doing that well, but she would always say, "If you don't become a teacher, te voy a dar," because you're always with books and reading, and you always want us to play with you. And so, I gotta kind of thank her a little bit. And while I was going to college, I was working at a law firm, and when I finished, I thought, I do want to go back and see if I can get a teaching degree. And my girlfriend, Carrie Hicks, was like, "You're going to go next week. You're not going to take a break. There's no such thing as a leap year. You're going straight in." And so I did get offered a job at a charter school to be a Spanish teacher. And I was like, "You don't want me to be a Spanish teacher, trust me." And so I didn't want to go the alternate route like they have in New Jersey. I wanted to go the traditional route. So I went the traditional route. And if I had to thank anybody getting me in college, I was a student athlete. So Dave, I totally appreciate the coaches. And one thing that my coach Blues said, may he rest in peace, he was like, you know who always had a job, even during the Great Depression? Teachers. You should become a teacher. You're a smart girl. He was the one who told me that I was like 23rd in my class. I had no idea. If I had known that, I would have tried to be in top 15, but here we go anyway. I always have those conversations now with kids so that they know where they place and so that they can reach higher. And I started off as a bilingual transition teacher, but because I had that experience at the law firm, I remember looking at the principal and saying to myself, I could totally do this. And then moved up that way. I guess the role that my parents played. My dad has a high school diploma, which is kind of rare. Compared to folks his age. And my grandmother also graduated from 8th grade and could read and write in cursive and was really big in politics because she was an orphan. So education was always like something that had to be done. And so I would say, and it's funny because I just came back from camping and my friends all laugh at me because I really can't cook. And I was like, but I could read and write. And so, you know, my parents did play a role. It was you're going to be a professional. You're going to school, but I have to really thank my coach who got me into a college. And I didn't even have to run for them. He just advocated for me that way. So
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Tell me you don't hear that voice on an NPR story. Tell me that's not an NPR voice right there. I just hear you, Sandra. On NPR, just making one of those special.
Gloria a Dios.
A big shout out to Constance Sherrard from Mississippi. Thank you for being here. Oklahoma's in the house. Kenyel Sessions, thank you for being here. Dot McKeever Jeter from Illinois. Thank you for always calling out the Fantastic Four family to come together. Dr. Chris Culver, soon MPA guest. Hey, Chris, let me know what your t-shirt size is. Dr. Rachel Eroeket. Talk about a shining star from coast to coast right now. Hey, dogs, nice to see you here. And my sister, mi hermana from South Carolina, Dr. Shika Houston. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and share. Rick, talk to us.
Hey, much like Dave, I was a football coach, baseball coach, coming up, played ball in high school. And one of my older brothers, also played college football, and went into coaching. And I pretty much wanted to follow in his footsteps. And but I finally figured out in order to coach, you need to teach. So I became a teacher, but I wanted to coach more than teach. But after the coaching thing kind of wore off after about 7 or 8 years, I really focused on teaching, and then, got advanced degrees, went in to be a dean, assistant principal, and a principal. My brother actually took the same path, and he's 6 years older than I. But I'm proud to say that I became a superintendent before he did. He was also a superintendent in Florida. And but my parents, neither one of them had a college education, but you know what? They established high expectations. You never wanted to disappoint them. And there were 5 siblings or children in the family. And, we've all done, I think, pretty good things in our lifetime, but our parents have really laid the foundation. Another word I just want to point out that I was taught and really adhered to, that's the word trust. And I think we as educators really need to build trust with our teachers, with our community, with our kids. And by the way, a shameless plug, I'm actually releasing a book called Trust Me. That's coming out in about a month. And it really talks about, the art of building trust. So a big thing, I think, with all educational leaders is to build trust.
Awesome. Thank you. And we'll have you for the show for Dr. Susan, the Schoolhouse, just like we had Dr. Sandra for promoting her book here in this podcast. Hey, that's the way we're going to get through this, baby. Educators supporting educators. And because we're all doing it in the whole glory of him, and most importantly, to improve our students. Katie Kinder, stick.
Okay. Hi, friends. I love hearing your stories. I do. Josh told me I was going to get wrapped up in your stories and forget that I had a question next, but here's the next question. So I want you to think of your life as a principal. And when you were in those principal years, what superintendent sticks out to you as someone you really kind of looked up to? And then also talk about when you knew you needed to step away and lead your own district. We're going to start with Rick this time.
Well, thank you, Katie. And I was a principal for 10 years. And actually, my superintendent, when I came in, named David Buckles, actually, I pretty much admired him. He was a 3-term superintendent, which means he was elected to 3 terms. And I've been elected to 3 terms now. And he is actually on our school board now and is really, has been a great mentor to me. And so I've always looked up to him, and, he's really been a real good kind of, he's seen it before, and he really gives me a lot of great advice as a school board member. But I think your next question was, when did we want to step away and be a superintendent? I actually retired after I was a principal after 38 years, but I was had a number of people in the community come back and say, "Hey, we need you to run for superintendent." So I was ready to walk off in the sunset, but I missed education so much. I came back and been here 10 years since I retired.
I love it. That's really cool. Like, you can't stay away. You can't stay away from these kids and this profession. That's really cool. We are going to go over to Dr. Sandra. Go ahead and tell us your journey. The person that you look up to, that you looked up to as a principal that was a superintendent, and when you knew it was time to step away and lead your own districts.
So I had an assistant superintendent, Dr. Aubrey Johnson, who would call me often, and he was really tough on me as a principal. But he would call me often for my advice, and he was my I don't want to call it an advocate or my ally or my supporter when it came time for me when a position opened up to be the associate chief academic officer. And he thought that I was ready. And he would always push me, and when he needed to be mean, he was mean, but he was also a great mentor. And then he left to become a superintendent at New Brunswick. And then I moved up to be assistant superintendent, and he would still call me, and we would still, be in touch, and he would show me his documents and I would show him my documents. At that point, as an assistant superintendent, I felt like I was respected. And so he's one that I looked up to. Also, Dr. Misha Porter Ross from New York City. She's a Fordham person, I was gonna say Fordham girl, a Ram. Seeing her lead like the biggest district in the world and still be funny and graceful and still have a down-to-earth conversation with you. And she can talk, Jay-Z, the same way she can talk research, right? She was also very inspirational. And so when the superintendentship opened in my hometown, Dr. Susana Perón, who was my boss, she can't be more than 4'10", Cubana, was like my mentor. She was my boss, but she was very tough on me as well. I wouldn't have done anything unless she gave me permission. So I asked her, "Do you think I'm ready for it? Me da la bendición para irme?" And she was like, "Absolutely." And I remember even preparing for it. I didn't have her see my deck. I didn't even let her interview me. I wanted to show her that she had prepared me as the deputy superintendent to really become a superintendent. And I finished my 5th year, and now I'm in my 6th year. So, I guess I Gloria a Dios, I'm 2 times over, 3 years. It's really tough work, but I think Aubrey Johnson and Misha Porter really, and then my superintendent who was there, Eileen Schaefer, she did it with such driven results and, pushing forward and not really taking no for an answer. So seeing all that happen, I thought I was well prepared to move forward. But, Latinas, we don't move unless we have like permission, and that's something that we need to kind of change.
I love that. And we know in this career that mentorship and friendship are necessary to sustain. We have to have it or we don't sustain. So thank you for that. We're going to jump over to Dave. Tell us the things.
Yes. Dr. Steve Sugg was my superintendent when I was in Sheridan. Again, that's another rural district. That's predominantly my background in public education. ADM is very small. So Dr. Sugg gave me lots of different hats to wear and lots of different opportunities and programs to initiate and programs to organize and to oversee and work with the state and do all those state reports that we all love to delegate down the hill. And so I feel like he's well prepared me to take the seat. And when I called him, he had departed the district and said, well, what do you think? And he said, you're ready to go. And so I took a chance and took the interim job here. And a number of years later, the board decided to keep me. And we have really moved some positive direction. I would like to also comment some of my colleagues that have really helped me navigate the waters in a very tough state in Oregon. We've gone through well over 200 superintendents in 5 years. It's a very high turnover in this state. There's a very challenging circumstances, not just fiscal, but also personalities and board interrelations. And so shout out to Aaron Bayer, Oregon Trail School District, and just being a colleague that really brought me along while I was in the chair early on in my career and helped me in his 15 years that he's been at his district to navigate the water, be a positive encouragement. And at one time I thought I was going to get fired, and he said, hey, I'll find a spot for you to have a job so you can meet the needs of your family. So, I mean, that's the kind of guy. I think a lot of Oregon superintendents, we have a tight bond. Some of us do. And it's not just who impacted us when we were getting prepped, it's who's circling the wagons with us.
I love that. And like we've all had those moments of we need to lean on somebody else. And the fact that he had you in that moment is really cool. Okay, Melissa, tell us the things.
Awesome. Well, so I had a very similar experience than Dr. Sandra described. I didn't really see myself as even a principal from the beginning, but I certainly didn't imagine that one day I would be a superintendent. But it was the faith and the confidence that our sitting superintendent at that time had in me. It was the freedom he gave me to make my campus be exactly what I envisioned for it. He always provided wise counsel, but I still gave me the liberty to trust my own instincts. And just seeing that he believed that I was ready, when he, by him approaching me and saying, "Hey, I intend to retire in a couple of years. You need to consider the superintendency. You need to begin working on that certification." And I believed him, and I did it. And I think back and. But for those words, I don't know that I would be a superintendent today. I'm just grateful for him to give me the opportunity to take over the reins within this same district, and also just that opportunity to see myself through his eyes.
I love it. Thank you guys for your vulnerability and for sharing those stories and for giving those shout outs to the people who deserve it. So I'm going to pass it back over. I just want you to know that I think Josh might look better in my glasses than I do in my glasses. So he might just need a prescription pair. Do you guys agree? And maybe I need to send every single one of you a pair of teal glasses so you can also rock them around your districts. I like it. Maybe a skeleton hand too. All right, Josh, over to you.
Just for you on the first day of school, I'm going to wear this just for you, Katie. All right. How I greet all the kids every day, all my Jaguars, in homage of you being here today.
I can't wait.
A big shout out to Dr. Patricia Ray. Hey, we need to connect. That way I could get you with Rick, because I know you have a book, and we'll do Dr. Susan the Schoolhouse the next episode. Arcela Austri from North Carolina, thank you for being here. And my sister from Oklahoma, Dr. Melissa Jones Chunu, thank you for being here today. Sandra, we're going to get started with you. We all know, especially, we have an idea at our niche. Like assistant principal has an idea, principals have an idea. You have the idea because you see all aspects from all your directors. You see everything. And so we're not going to spend 10 minutes. We don't have enough time on a podcast to cover all the situations that are in education right now. But there are some things that you could bring the knowledge of what you're doing in your area. So the question is going to be about right now twofold, the very first part. And we're going to start off with you, Sandra, okay? let's not spend a lot of time. If you already if you're doing something similar to Sandra, Melissa, Dave, you're doing something similar. We're doing something similar to that. But question number one is: remember back when we started? I'm hearing the times. We all started like almost in the same time. We used to have like 7 pages of candidates. We used to have 7 million candidates for a history teacher, for an English teacher. Now, Lord have mercy. We're lucky we have enough for 4 people to interview. So in your district, Sandra, what are you doing for this need for educators? What are you doing for this? And part two is, what are you doing? Because we know we're getting more of the alt-certs, right? We're getting more alt-certs than what we went through. All of us here went through the traditional student teaching, observation hours. We all did that stuff. That stuff is dead for more as compared to today. So what are you doing for the number of vacancies that we have out there? And what are you doing for the alt-certs to support them? Sandra.
So we are trying to do our grow your own, kind of your homegrown teachers. So our paras, we're partnering with the colleges around so that we can get them certifications so that they can become teachers, especially bilingual teachers and special ed teachers. We also have our high school kids. We have an educational pathway where we are, we can't, we're threatening them with a good time, like you're going to be a great teacher. We could only offer you like a 3-year contract because we can't offer more than that, because that becomes sort of we can tenure them. So when you go to college and become a teacher, come back. We would love to have you. And so we're doing a lot of partnership with that, especially like with William Patterson University. We also do a lot of recruitment at the different colleges, at college fairs. And we are also encouraging friends to steal friends from other districts and tell them, seriously, telling them, what a great district we have here, how approachable the superintendent is, how our scores are coming up, how we would love to have them on our team. We also have a great mayor that partners with us. It's a little city that's really moving. We have the best Mexican parade in the world, so y'all should come out in September and see us. So we're doing all of that. And our director of HR, when he sees someone and looks at their resume and he sees like, oh, they're science, but they're a para, like he really encourages them to like, hey, why don't you try to become a teacher? The alternative route here in New Jersey is not that very popular. So, the ones that do come alternative route, they have their own sort of mentoring, but we also have a professional development academy, and we also have to give them a mentor with, I think it's like 100 hours that needs to be logged, and there has to be a schedule. So it's not just like, hey, like when I was in the game where it's like, yeah, I met with my mentor here and there. Like it is very, very scripted, for lack of a better word.
All right. And it's so true. I tell that to educators. You're free agents now. All of your free agents. If you have experience, you're free agents. And if you stay at that school that you're not happy with, that's your fault.
Mhm.
Well, principals need to understand also, with the days of them coming to us because of our area zone, that's out the window, baby. You better be promoting your school, because those kids are going to go to the neighboring district or 2 districts down to be, air quotes, what happy is. So just, hey, we need to change our thought processes being administrators at the campus level, obviously, and I know you guys as superintendents too. Melissa, what are you doing for alt-certs and to find people out there?
Again, we found the same thing to be true, that growing your own is probably the most effective way. And in actuality, my district has been growing our own. A majority of the teachers and pairs that we've hired in the past, I'd say 6 or 7 years, have been people from our community. And so what we decided instead is to focus on the preparation part of that. So we began this, again, I'm in a small rural district. We began a program we call the TRACK program, which is Teacher Residence Achieving Certification. And we provide PD and support once a month for all of our alt-cert teachers. And that's led by my assistant superintendent, my academic director, and myself. And so that we have found that that's excellent in an excellent way to support those alt-cert students in progressing through their programs and also providing additional support through professional development. So, we found that has been effective. We've had other individuals in our community reach out and say, "Hey, I've heard you have this track program. What do I need to do to get in?" And so that's a pretty good indication, some qualitative data that we're doing a good job with that. And then also we are beginning our recruitment efforts, and hold on to your seats for a minute, at our elementary level. So we were part of a Teach Texas pilot program last year. It evolved into a grant the last part of this year, and will continue next year. And it's intended to provide elementary, junior high, and high school students with opportunities to lead. It provides teachers with the idea that we can begin identifying those qualities in our students that would make them excellent educators, and then just providing opportunities for them to exercise the skills and the values that make a great educator. So I'm really excited about that. It began with just a conviction I've had for several years that we had to start an education pathway. Again, we're small and rural, and we just don't have those resources. So 2 years ago, I began teaching the Principles of Education and Training class myself, first period every day. And it turned out to be one of my greatest accomplishments since I've been a superintendent, and one of the most rewarding. I just love that. And so I've seen those girls through a couple of years of coursework, and now I have 5 certified educational aid ones in the state of Texas who have been my students. And so just really, kind of thinking along those lines of what do we need to do within our community to support that grow your own process.
Qué bonito, como me gusta, I love it. Hey, out there, hey, Wisconsin, you want to start elementary? Reach out to the Lone Star State right there. That superintendent will take care of you right there. Dave, talk to us.
Yeah, as far as alt certs, we have to sponsor our staff, whether that's through a grow your own or through an alternative pathway. So that has to come through me to take a risk on any particular candidate that might be fresh out through a career technical route, or maybe just somebody not in their current field of study that we have a void and we need to fill that particular position. So there's a lot less leeway in the state of Oregon there might be in other states. As far as hiring, I come at this from a maybe different perspective. I look at myself as a public CEO, and my job's to, in essence, going back to Rick as a coach, it's win the day. I'll steal that from U of O football. We're here to win, and we're here to be the best we possibly can. And I make no bones about it. We'll go out and out recruit and out find people that are effective to make our program better. And if people aren't cutting it in our district, we find ways to help them get off the bus, as Jim Collins says, and find a new bus. So I think it's all about, we have to have a better product for our students and our families to be a part of. And we need to have people that are willing to stand the gap, help kids be successful, and help push them to be as productive members of our community, so they return back and we can continue the process of educating people publicly in person and not looking at all these other opportunities kids have today.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing those thoughts, those ideas, and always getting great quotes from great coaches. Love it. Rick.
Well, like everyone else here, we have our grow your own, and we also aggressively go out and recruit teachers at universities and that type of thing. But you know what? The best way of recruiting teachers is to hang on to them when you get them. And we have really worked hard on teacher retention. As a matter of fact, we have a program that we started when I came in called Novice Teacher Mentors. And we have 4 teachers, certified teachers, high performing teachers who do not teach kids. All they do is go and mentor teachers, probably about 40 teachers each. And they just spend time with them. They'll model teach. They'll work on classroom discipline. They also work with their alt-cert teachers, because a lot of those alt-cert teachers never have had, any kind of formal educational training. So 0 to 3 year teachers get, pretty much those first 3 years, they get a lot of attention from those teachers. And our retention rate has gone for novice teachers from 65% to 93%. So we hang on to them. And not only that, but we also, I task our principals to really work on building culture. Because, teachers, like we always say, if you make the big people happy, the little people are going to be happy. So we really focus on building that culture. As a matter of fact, in our calendar, we give them an early day off, or the kids off, 1 day per month. And we tell our principals, we want that to be time where you can do team building, culture building with your staff, because teachers need to feel valued. They need to, feel like they are making a difference. And we also provide PD for our teachers about 4 times a year. Every teacher in our district, we have 10,000 students in our district. All those teachers come together about 4 times a year, either by grade level or by content area, and they get professional development on teaching the standards, effective teaching practices. So we're really trying to grow our teachers professionally. Finally, last year, we actually have been able to provide no-cost health care for all of our employees. No-cost health care. As long as you're on our insurance plan, we have an employee-only clinic. They can walk in there at any time, get any kind of medical attention, no cost. And that includes me too. They get free prescriptions. So really just the material part of that, if they know that you value them, you take care of them, you help meet their needs, they're going to be happy and they're going to stay there with you.
Wow. That whole medical thing, I know that destroys you guys as superintendents, especially if your state is broke. It does. I know that. And at the teacher level, obviously at the campus level, that's where, we got a pay raise, but then the medical stuff also went up. Oh, and that you're willing to do that in Florida, that's amazing.
It's been about a 9-year journey to do that, because you have to get insurance claims down and all that. You just can't automatically do it. You have to really work towards it.
Of course. And that's one of the hard things about being the leader, the jefes of jefes, that you have to take all those pennies into consideration. Rella Hicks, thank you for being on the show, Rella Hicks. Stick, Katie Kinder.
All these teachers that are watching right now are about to throw down to get in all your districts. They're like, no, I'm Rick's my guy. No, Melissa, Dave, no, Dr. Sandra, they're trying to get in. I love it. I love a servant leader too, somebody who can step in the classroom and take over and do the things and never get disconnected. And you guys seem like that's what you do. So we appreciate that. Okay. Next question is, how do you get the business community and your parent community in your school districts? Like, any positive initiatives where you're able to connect parents and businesses and get them in your district to help in certain types of way, any type of outside of the box things that you're doing to get those communities involved as well? And we're going to start with Dave. What do you got?
Well, in small rural community, there's not a lot of parents to tap into. So we have an opportunity. We do surveys. We do lots of opportunities to have, community engagement evenings. We try to provide meals or food and try to get holistic ideas from the community on solving problems or having options of. One problem we have is looking at our facilities and how do we upgrade them in an economy that's really struggling in the state of Oregon to provide capital improvements. So we've gone about a lot of different ways to get feedback and opinions from getting families involved. And then we want to get more younger families involved, because the high school level families, their students are exiting the district. And so we want to get more younger families involved. So trying to really get the PTA going and some of the parent-teacher organizations, booster clubs, things like that, to get more engagement from families.
I love that. Like a community school. One of my favorite things to do is to drive up to a rural school where it's just like the heartbeat of the community. And that's kind of what you're describing, where, it's Friday Night Lights and everybody's there. It's just something special about that. Let's go over to Melissa. What are your thoughts?
So just a very short while, maybe 6 weeks after I became superintendent, we were hit by Hurricane Harvey. That was in 2017, and our district and our community was devastated. And in the aftermath of that, I had former students, graduates of our school, alumni, who reached out to me wanting to know how they could help. And in the course of that conversation, an idea for a education foundation was born. And our education foundation has become our single greatest community partner. And they really help us bridge those gaps between parents and businesses and our community. They've been instrumental in not only providing financial resources to our district, helping our teachers feel appreciated, like Rick was talking about, but it's also just that positive energy that they provide in the middle of the spring when we're all exhausted, and here they come in, kind of like a backup team. And so I would say that is probably our most effective way to bridge the gap between community, parents, and the school, is through all of the activities of our education foundation.
I love a foundation to support the community and the schools together. Like, this is what strong communities are built around education. Like, let's go. I love that. Thank you. How about Dr. Sandra? Tell us the things.
So I'm blessed that in all of my schools, we have 18 schools, there is a parent liaison assigned to each school. And so that's different. I know a lot of towns, had some, but in the past 10 years that they're almost non-existent. So we have that. And so we have like weekly parent meetings. And they get pretty full, which is really impressive. And they try to outdo each other. Like, I got 96, 107 parents came. So that's awesome. We do the surveys, and we have a really active family and community engagement director who helps. We also, when it comes to businesses, we have our CTE programs, and so we try to do that internship and those are really hard to come across. So when we get a hit where a kid can become an intern, that's amazing. And we really work closely with our city government. And so like one of the things that just happened, and it should be coming up again. It's like businesses that give them discounted rate for uniforms. So that helps out with our parents. And then they have like a festival just to get them in. And any organizations that have like karate or baseball, just, we give like free press, for lack of a better word, on our social media platform so that we could work with them and develop that relationship. And then the one that I'm most proud of, and we're going to do a second year, is we develop a family financial wellness program. And so we've partnered with two different banks, Vision Federal Credit Union and Valley National Bank, and the Rotary Club, as well as our teachers union, where we provide workshops to our parents on how to save money. And our kids are actually able to get some money from Valley National Bank to open up accounts, because they gave us a $10,000. It's funny how you do something and money comes to you. You have an idea and money comes to you. So that was Judith Sanchez, one of my board members, was like, we need to talk about financial wellness. And I was like, I would love to do that. And I was like, can I do that as a goal? And she was like, absolutely. At the time, she was the president. And so it morphed into even the teachers union feeds us, gives us free books. And so that has really helped our relationship with the president, Mr. Frank Katurba. So it's nice to see how when you do, gather around community and do a good cause and help everybody learn. And he's a money guy, like I call him. So it was just interesting to see how, the partnership is there. You just have to be willing to partner, right? And see how we can impact families. So.
Dr. Sandra is just like manifesting money, and it comes to her. I love it.
Yes,
I love
Lord.
that. And parent liaisons, interns. Like, that is all really cool. All right, Rick, bring us home.
Well, the thing that I do a lot of the same things that my colleagues do. You know, I have about 4 times a year parent engagement session where they all come out and we live stream it, and I just field questions and all. You know, being elected, it's really important for me to stay connected with the people because they're my bosses. So every 4 years, they vote me in or vote me out. So I have to be really connected there. You know, we also have on our social media a 2-way communication, so teachers and parents can talk directly anytime. And you know, one thing that I did as a principal, and this is based on the premise that a lot of parents don't like to come to school and visit because they had negative experiences when they were a child. So we get that. So when I was a principal for 2 or 3 years, I actually, at the beginning of school, before the kids showed up, I would put our teachers on a bus and we would drive around every neighborhood that we served so they knew where the kids were coming from. And that evolved into teachers would get off the bus and start walking neighborhoods and delivering school supplies. And the parents, it's kind of funny, a lot of them would not come out of the house because I think they thought they were insurance salesmen or something. But eventually they figured out they were teachers. And you know what? That was such a wonderful thing because we met the parents where they were and really established that initial relationship. So that was very positive for us. On the business side, again, being elected, I have to really rub shoulders with a lot of businessmen. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I go to a lot of events. You know, I know all the businessmen here in town. And you know what? A lot of times when we want to start a CTE program, it's going to be to fulfill some type of employment that our local businesses need. And, you know, our biggest industry is a pulp mill. They wanted us to start an advanced manufacturing program. I said, that's great, but show me the money. And they actually fronted us some money, you know, $120,000 to start the program. And we actually went to our legislature and got a nice appropriation to start the program. But the point is, if they want to work with you, you know, and you work with them, there has to be that kind of relationship where, you know, they're willing to put skin in the game. So that's kind of the relationship we have. And I know all of our businessmen well, and you know, we're all in this together. So it's worked really good.
I love that. And you meant businessmen and businesswomen, right, Rick?
I got cut off before I said business women. Sorry.
That's what he meant. He's rubbing elbows with those business women too.
Thanks for filling in the blank, Katie.
Okay, Josh.
Got it. All right. So please like and share. If you have not right now received all of this knowledge, I know, look at, you've got coast to coast here, guys. And look at all of these nuggets that are being dropped. Like and share it right now. It's not going to hurt you. The button don't hurt. It don't cost you money. You don't need PayPal. Just press it. Go to YouTube, Josh Tovar, boom, press it. It's 2 seconds. That's all it is. Just keep on spreading the algorithm. We all know it's about the algorithm. Yes or no? That's all it's about. Spread this knowledge out there from coast to coast all over the world also. So guys, real quick, we're going to start off with Rick. Let's start off with you, Rick. You know, again, the exodus started the second year after COVID. Peace out. I'm out. We've all seen it. The gap is right there, and everyone is moving up. People that used to take 3-5 years to become the next level of leadership, all that's out the window. People are really moving up real quick now, and that could be good, and that could be not good. So, Rick, start off with you. Give me one character trait for a campus leader, that needs to be seen, used, what you want in your school system, because you know they got to deal with what? They got to deal with moving populations, bad attendance, the cell phone, all this stuff that is we have to deal with now. That's our reality now, all right? That no longer is, I'm going to wait till you get home. Now it's, what did you do, teacher? there's been a paradigm shift in education. So, Rick, what's one characteristic, one quality, one leadership trait that you look for in a campus leader, and why that trait?
Well, again, I go back to what I said earlier. One of the big learnings I had is that leader needs to build trust with the people whom he leads. He or she leads, Katie. And, that relationship, they have to build that. It's not a top-down situation. A principal needs to be a lead educator. They need to be able to talk the talk, walk the walk, be in those classrooms, really build that culture. And, but I think if parents, kids, teachers trust that leader is there for them, is willing to stick their neck out for them, that's going to be a great school. So I think being trustworthy is got to be one of the major characteristics.
Love it, Rick. Thank you for sharing that. That's so true. Dave, what you got?
I would say willing to listen, because I think as a supervisor, we want people that are going to take the feedback from us as direct reports, but then also be willing to take feedback from their staff, from their colleagues, from parents, to build the culture, as Ricky talked about, and also drive instruction. So I think being able to listen and collect that feedback and then grow in their practice is all very critically aligned with being able to, take that feedback and listen to it.
Thank you, señor. Muchas gracias. Señorita Melissa, platícanos.
I would absolutely say value-driven. I believe that a campus principal must be focused on the very foundational principles of the values that an education system and our district in particular hold dear, and that foundation can help drive decisions over a wide range of topics.
Thank you. Doctora Sandra, platícanos.
So it's hard for me to come up with one word, but I think it's holding people accountable and having a clear communication of their impact, right? So this is their vision. This is the vision that I had. This is what happened. Here is the impact, and through driving instruction. So it's really looking at that mission and that vision and really saying, like, this is where we were, this is where we are, this is where we're going, and here's the data. So I think if I had to put it all together, it's like accountability of clear communication of their impact.
Oh, you're so right, Dr. Sandra. Don't be scared of having the tough conversations. If you want to, what is Nick Saban? If you want to be liked, go sell ice cream. Don't go to the chair. Stop being scared of having tough conversations.
Yeah. Clear talk, clear understanding.
It's your vision. Defend it. That's why you have the chair. Dios mío santo, administrators. Katie Kinder, go.
I like to say clarity is kind, right? Clarity is kind. We want to be clear. We don't want people to, we want to know what it is. So I appreciate that. Okay. This question is for an aspiring superintendent, someone who wants to do this. What's one piece of advice you would give them of what not to do, knowing what you know now? And we're gonna go straight back to Dr. Sandra. Let's hear it.
Don't push back with your board members without hearing all 9. I have 9 board members, without hearing all 9, because it could just be that one who's really trying to drive the ship, and it might not even be the president. So, listen. I think somebody else said listen, take down your notes, talk to your cabinet, strategize, but don't just push back the minute somebody says, hey, right, I have this idea or whatever. So I think that's a mistake that I did, that I would just be like, and it was only one person. So, and now I love my board. We've come a long way. They really don't change that much in my district. So we've learned how to have a working relationship. And sometimes you have to compromise, even when, you would rather throw yourself in front of a train instead of compromise. But sometimes that compromise will help you down the road. So that's very difficult for new people to you have to kind of experience it in order for you to learn. But I think that It's an art form.
Sound advice. I like it. Melissa, tell us.
I would say, I spoke earlier about seeking wise counsel, and I certainly believe that's true, but I would caution a new superintendent from solely relying on wise counsel. I think there's an element of trusting your own instinct and knowing your own community and making decisions based off of a variety of sources.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of times the community and your teachers, like, they don't know how hard it is, and the board, and to make those kinds of decisions. It's a lot of pressure. I'm going over to my guy, Rick.
Hey, I would tell them, don't take things personal.
Mm-hmm.
In our day of social media, I take a beating every day, and it's almost comical. Yeah, these people, they have valid concerns, but sometimes, they just put out all kind of negativity and all that, and other people jump on. But you know what? People care about their kids. They want the best for their kids. It's not that they don't like us personally. Well, maybe some of them, but they don't like who we represent. So if a new person gets in there, they just need to stay the course, and don't take it to heart. Just keep on keeping on. Don't let them deter you.
Don't take it personally. I love that. And especially people get brave behind their phones. They do. They get real brave. Yeah. Keyboard warriors. I love that. Dave, tell us everything.
I'd say stay grounded. I think being grounded in your own personal values, your own personal faith, but also grounded in what your goals and aspirations are for your career. And more importantly, what are your grounding for your own individual district's goals, and making sure that the board understands, because you're dealing with 5, 7, 9 adults that typically have no understanding of public education or even educating a kid or coaching a kid. So I think making sure that they are grounded in their goals for you, because you can't be successful unless you know what target they want you to hit.
Sound advice from our panel. Yes, you guys all need teal glasses. I can just see it in your future. Okay, over to you, Josh.
And right now, before we get to our last question, and then we get into lightning round, I always promote these books because they really help me out. Superintendent Glenn Robbins from New Jersey. 2 great books, and they're the special size that educators love. A lot of knowledge, not a lot of pages. Calm in the Chaos deals with the Stoics and leadership. You got to read that book right now. I'm seeing a lot of lady principals, Katie, showing me their toenails on social media with their Mai Tais and their piña coladas, relaxing the summer. Well, I hope you're reading one of these books right now. The Stoics and Leadership. Great job with Danny Bauer, future guest here. Great book. And also, I Won't Back Down. He connects obstacles that are placed in education. We all know that. We've seen that, how people get blackballed in education. Doors are closed with musicians that were told they would never be successful. You know that big loser, Jimi Hendrix, he was told he would never do anything. You know that loser, Tom Petty, that guy, he was never going to accomplish anything right there. So great books to read real quick. I am a Fundamental 5 guy for the last 10 years, Sean Kane, on how to teach. Right there. I'll be presenting at the national conference in a couple of months. I live and die by the Fundamental 5. 100. Great job right here. Great strategy. Great blueprint. And yours truly helped write 2 books right there. 15 principles from across the United States. More than just a principal. And Barbara Bray's Robert Hitchcliffe. And Barbara Bray, 23 stories by 23 educators. So if you're by the pool right now, you want to learn from principals right there. You want to 23 stories from educators right there for you. And if you don't want to read because you're those Audible people, this book right here, you could buy it. All the authors read it. This is the only book that all the authors from 23 stories have read their own. I'm sorry for my ugly voice. I suggest you buy it if you don't want to hear my voice. So here we go. Rick, you got anything that there to promote?
Yeah. Trust Me, Volume 2. And it's about what happens in our district and why it happened. So it's going to come out probably at the end of July sometime.
Beautiful. And you have a podcast also, right?
Yeah, a podcast called The Pulse. And it's on YouTube. Feel free to join us.
Dr.
I'm going to
Sandra.
have Josh on there too.
There you go.
So, Arrive and Thrive, 7 impactful practices for women navigating leadership. So that's Susan McKenty Brady. And then I'm going to do a selfish plug. Oh no, Abby's chronically absent. What should we do? And in Spanish, oh no, Abby falta mucho a la escuela. ¿Qué debemos hacer? So, very cute book on belonging, also very culturally and linguistically relevant.
Hey, Texas ARGV, if you don't got that book in your library, make sure you reach out to Dr. Sandra. It's a great book.
Thank you.
It's right there.
And
Hey.
it comes with a study guide if you purchase over 25. So we'll talk.
You got Dave, what you got?
I'm speaking next month at the Oregon School Administrators Conference on the journey from being a principal to a superintendent and the literacy gains that we've made in 2 separate districts.
Oregon, go check out, fill up that little room, make it a big room, make it to where they open 7 rooms to go listen to Dave and his journey as a soup. Melissa.
Hey, y'all just show up for my first period class for Principles of Education.
Let's all go and get some good Mexican food in the RGV and listen to Melissa. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Melissa, let's finish off the last question. It's a simple one, and then we're going to go into the lightning round. Lightning round. Finish this sentence. Hey, educator, next year I want you to
Stay true to the vision that you started the career with.
Sandra. Hey, educator, next year I want you to
Know your data and hold your people accountable.
Oh, good.
Dave. Hey, educator, next year I want you to
Have fun.
Rick. Hey, educator, next year I want you to
I want you to be better this year than you were last year.
All right, love it. Yes, Katie, go. You gotta go. Hey, closing thoughts, Katie? Are you good?
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm actually at a speakers retreat with Dr. Chris Culver, who is going to MPA, who's also watching out there, watching the show. But we've got something else coming up. But I have really enjoyed meeting you and talking to you. And I'm going to connect via something, social media, email, probably all the things. So, Josh.
Thank you. Love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katie.
All
Thank
right,
you.
gotcha.
Thank you.
All right, so lightning round. We're gonna start off with you, Rick. Remember lightning round? Only question number 2. You could take your time. Here we go. PGP podcast. G is for ganas. Ganas is the only universal word that connects all Hispanics. Nothing else. We're not a monolith. We don't have the same food. Some of us don't even eat hot sauce or chile. Some of our words, we can never say it around Puerto Ricans if you're Mexicans. We speak at different tones, different speeds. When I talk to a Boricua, I'm like, espérate, what did you just say? I'm telling you, but one word does connect us. It doesn't matter if you're from Bolivia. It doesn't matter if you're from Ecuador, Honduras. It doesn't matter in Mexico. We all use ganas because it's a generational word. It's a word that connects grandmas with their grandchildren, grandpas with their grandson or daughter. It's said with love and inspiration. And that's how I want you to do this lightning round, Mr. Rick. So here we go. Lightning round. Give advice to a new superintendent.
Surround yourself with the brightest people available who may or may not agree with you, and be open to other ideas.
Read a note, an email, and a text from a parent, colleague, or student that inspired you with their words.
I had a teacher email me, said, thank you for taking the risk of not being reelected to help pass a $300 million bond referendum to build new schools. And you put the well-being of the students ahead of yourself.
Love it. Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you in your work. Name and title.
Jackie Kapushin, Superintendent of St. Vrain Valley School District in Colorado.
What summer vacation spot stands out and you want to visit again?
St. Simon's Island in Georgia. Very quaint.
What is your favorite cheat food?
Pecan pie and chocolate almond ice cream.
What is your favorite let your hair down movie, sir?
Hey, I'm watching Netflix series called Homeland.
When you were young, what was the best family vacation you took with your parents?
Daytona Beach at a bed and breakfast.
What do you do to recalibrate, to focus on yourself?
I used to run, I used to walk. Now I wake up and sit on the couch and I get recalibrated every morning.
I understand. How can people get a hold of you, senor?
Hey, look me up on LinkedIn.
Love it. Dave, here we go. Lightning round. Give advice to a new superintendent.
Hey, hire good people, focus on the work, and drive your outcomes.
Read a note, an email, or text from a parent, colleague, or student that inspired you with their words.
Board member, late Friday night. Good job.
I can't go wrong when they do that. Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you in your work. Name and title.
Rob Hess, Superintendent, Central Lynn School District. He really is there to talk.
Love it. What summer vacation spot stands out and you want to visit again?
Going next month, Three Creeks Lake outside of Sisters, Oregon, 16 miles up in the mountains. No cell service.
Perfect. What's your favorite cheat food?
Dark chocolate.
What is your favorite let your hair down movie, sir?
Anything related to Star Wars.
When you were young, what was the best family vacation you took with your parents?
Washington, D.C., 8th grade year.
What do you do when you need to recalibrate, to focus on yourself?
Every morning, work out, lift weights, do high intensity training.
Let's go, Dave. Let's go. Let's flex. How can people get a hold of you, sir, before you go up into
look me up in LinkedIn or reach out to me online through any of my handles.
Love it. Melissa, here we go. Give advice to a brand new superintendent.
I would say take the work seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously.
Love that. Read a note, an email, or text from a parent or colleague or student that inspired you with their words.
I sincerely appreciate all you represent for the students of RISD. I see Christ in you. This was a 40-year employee, one I feel not adequate to be under my leadership.
Amen. Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you in your work. Name and title.
Roz Keck, partner at Into Learning.
What summer vacation spot stands out and you want to visit again?
Oh, absolutely. Paradise Valley, Montana.
What is your favorite cheat food?
Glazed donuts.
What is your favorite let your hair down movie?
Currently, The Little House on the Prairie remake on Netflix.
When you were young, what was the best family vacation you took with your parents?
We went to Carlsbad Caverns when I was 5 years old.
What do you do when you need to recalibrate and focus on yourself?
Coffee every morning and every afternoon at 4 p.m.
And how can people get a hold of you, young lady?
On all the social media platforms.
Love it. And Doctora Sandra, no NPR soft moments, okay? It's a lightning round, okay?
You got it.
Bien rápido, por favor, okay? Give advice to a new superintendent.
I would say know your mission and vision and visit it often so that you know what you're there to do. And defend your district's narrative always, because people are going to say, you guys don't know what you're doing and, you guys suck. And so be able to defend your people, because teachers, principals, everybody's working really hard for somebody to just say something that's negative and you just leave it there. So,
Read a note, an email. Read a note, an email, or text.
We are deeply grateful for your continued support in allowing Transy East to host our 27th anniversary invitational. So it's a track club from a different town who doesn't have a good track field. So we let them come to us.
Great role model. Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you in your work. Name and title.
I'm gonna say NJ Alas, my whole superintendent team. There's only about 17 Latino superintendents and 690 in New Jersey, and all of them work really hard every day. So I just don't want to pick one out.
Love it. What summer vacation spot stands out? And you
Puerto Rico.
What is your favorite cheat food?
Ice cream, just vanilla.
What is your favorite let your hair down movie?
I like The Fifth Element, but I also like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Multipass, exactly. When you were young, what was the best family vacation you took with your parents?
Puerto Rico.
When you need to recalibrate and focus on self, what do you do?
I lift weights and do a lot of squats. I lift heavy weights, and so it's fun. And I'm starting to sprint with my son, and so those starts are really getting crazy. But it just takes out a lot of energy, and I scream sometimes and throw for things.
Let's go more. Pump it up. I love it. Dr. Sandra, how can people get a hold of you?
I all social media outlets, and sandra.diozene@gmail.com is also like fully loaded.
Love it. Thank you, Katie Kinder, for being here, and panel. Appreciate you for spending some of your Sunday time, but most importantly, for making sure that you drop that knowledge, because you know what? You have gone. Dr. Joe Griffin, thank you for being here. Appreciate you for being here and dropping that knowledge, because you know what? You have gained that experience through positive and non-positive experiences, and that's how we learn the best. And it's your job to make sure you make everyone educated, because we all got better today thanks to your knowledge, your nuggets, and your journey in life. So thank you very much, everybody out there. And remember, hey, everybody, hey, Maine, hey, Alaska, hey, Hawaii, hey, Florida, you're not alone. You choose to be alone. You know that we don't have any money. Back in the Stone Age, when I started in the 90s, you could send 5 people to Las Vegas to a conference, and everyone would have their own room. That is a thing of the past. That is no longer. But now you've got avenues. You got ways like this, like the PGP podcast and the Fantastic Four, to get free PD for you. This is all free. You don't need a PO. You don't need to get it approved by your principal, by the finance chief officer. This is free PD. You could go Edutopia, Education Week. There's so many other ways. But many of us like doing this podcast route. You know why? Because we see the body language. We see the truth in the voice. We see the street cred. So it's very important that you reach out, you like and share, and you spread this out, because you know what? You cannot get any more truer than having these superintendents from all over the United States bringing the knowledge to you. And don't forget to join us next week. Next week, we have the principal roundtable with principals from all over the country again. Thank you, panel, for being here. Say goodbye, panel, to everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And don't hang up, panel. Do not hang up. Join us next week, 5 p.m. Central. Fantastic Four, PGP Podcast. Love you. Adios.